Our politics lead now. It's getting nasty in the Republican primary race for governor of Georgia. Check out this ad.
Why did you name me Brad?
Well, when you were first born, I thought to myself, how can my son spend his years doing almost nothing? I named you after Brad Raffensperger. He did side with Stacey Abrams against President Trump, though. Turned on his own kind. Now he wants to be governor. I can only hope you'll do so precious little with your life. My second name choice was Judas.
So that's how billionaire healthcare executive Rick Jackson is introducing himself in the political world. He's taking direct aim at Georgia's current Secretary of State and governor hopeful, Brad Raffensperger, conservative Republican, whom I'm sure you'll remember as a Republican, investigated all of the questions raised by President Trump and his supporters during the state's 2020 presidential election results and found no evidence of fraud, and also denied the president's entreaties to find the right number of votes to give the state to Trump as opposed to Biden. And that turned him into a regular target of the president and his allies. Our panel's here. National Review editor Ramesh Ponnura and former New York Democratic Congressman Steve Israel, who's out with a new suspense novel. It's called The Einstein Conspiracy. Steve, thanks for being here, Congressman, I should say. You served formerly as chair of the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee. What do you make of that ad? Remove the politics remove your opinions about it for a second. Put yourself in the seat of just a viewer, somebody clicking around. Is it effective, do you think?
For now, it's effective. What's even more important, I mean, you said this is going to be a nasty race. It's not only nasty, it's going to be very expensive.
Yeah.
Jackson has said he'll put $50 million of his own money into this race. There's already about $13 million spent against his opponent. So this is going to be a very expensive race. What I love about this ad is they get Judas Iscariot into this. And I didn't even know that he was a registered voter. And getting that in, I think it punches. The question is, at some point, he's going to have to talk about real issues like the cost of living, inflation, food prices, the economy. What do
you make of it? And you're allowed to give your opinion on the politics of it as well. And I'm going to come back to you and let you weigh in as well, Congressman.
Look, I think that it very effectively hits the tribal loyalty point. Why is this guy backing Stacey Abrams, hated Democratic figure in a Republican primary vote electorate, versus Donald Trump, who Republicans still overwhelmingly support? And the answer to that question is because that's where the law and the facts on that particular issue happen to be.
Right.
And what Jackson is accusing Raffensperger of doing is following his duty.
Yeah, but here's the thing, and we all know this, is like, I can't think of a Republican who wouldn't have loved to have found evidence of fraud.
And they can't.
And they can't because there wasn't.
That's right.
Any. So, what do you think of the fact
Listen, I have one simple perspective as the former chairman of the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee. The more money Republicans spend in Georgia attacking one another, the happier we Democrats are. There's a crowded primary for the governor's race. Let them salvage each other on the air and spend all that money against themselves.
Also in Georgia, Democrats released this ad against former Tennessee football coach and Republican Senate candidate Derek Dooley, where they rolled the tape on his football record. Here's just a clip of that.
And let me tell you, in football, we have a saying, your film is your resume.
Dooley's career at Tennessee lasting just 36 games. His record, 15 wins, 21 losses.
With results like that, in the profession I came from, your ass goes to the bench.
So Ramesh, Dooley's taking on incumbent Democratic Senator John Ossoff, and he has been endorsed by outgoing Governor Brian Kemp. What do you make of that ad and Dooley's candidacy?
I think it is a strong opening ad to introduce him as a political figure to voters in Georgia. I don't know that in the end that's going to be the line of attack that works against Dooley.
You were a bad coach.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think?
2 stars. They tried this against Tuberville in Tennessee. He didn't have a really stellar football record. I'm sorry, Alabama. Right. Yeah. Didn't have a stellar football record. They tried a very similar ad. It didn't work. I agree completely. At the end of the day, it's going to be about the core issues that are animating the voters in this midterm election.
We also saw former Capitol Hill police officer Harry Dunn announce a bid for Congress in Maryland. Dunn, who protected the Capitol during the insurrection in 2021, was one of the 4 officers to publicly testify before Congress about the attack.
Here's the thing. Lawlessness isn't always a mob. Now it comes with a title, a budget, a badge. a weapon, and lies from behind the podium.
So this is his second run. He lost in the primary last time in a competitive race. What do you think of that one?
A midterm election is always fundamentally a referendum on the president. And you're going to see ads like this play out because independent voters break against the president's party, and they need to be animated. So this ad, I think, is effective, and you're going to see it replicated in many respects. But I will say this, in that district, that's Steny Hoyer's district.
Yeah.
He is a legend. A lot of federal workers have been really impacted by DOGE and other cuts. And I think that Hoyer's voice and his endorsement, he did not endorse Harry, is more meaningful than any kind of paid media that you're seeing.
What do you think?
I think that that is the kind of ad we are going to be seeing in a lot of Democratic primaries because it hits all of the issues that Democratic voters are enraged about. And I think it's very much like 2018, the first midterm Trump had. There's going to be a lot of kind of that resistance spirit coming back.
So there's already a Vindman in Congress. That's the brother of the one who was the whistleblower. They both are Army veterans, et cetera. But retired Lieutenant Colonel Alex Vindman, who was the whistleblower on the Ukraine scandal and impeachment, I think he's running for Senate in Florida, right?
Correct.
What do you make of that?
Yeah. I think he's an incredibly credible candidate. He's got name recognition. He's got a good fundraising base. I think he's going to put that race in play, certainly has a potential for putting it in play.
Is Florida in play?
I am not so sure about that. I think that Florida has been steadily slipping out of Democratic hands for the last decade.
He's going to force them to spend money. He'll
Going to force
the
them to spend money.
money.
See, you're still the DCCC
I know,
chair
it's
because
all
you're still
these gray
tactically
hairs.
thinking you might not win. You didn't say this. I'm saying this. Might not win the seat, but let's force Republicans to spend money. Does that really work? I mean, is that really a thing? Is there really a finite amount of money?
First of all, in a limited battlefield, right, because of redistricting, you've got to expand your opportunities. It's just vital. And if the Democrats have a good candidate in a competitive race, may not be winnable, but if it looks competitive, you're forcing Republicans to play on your terms. That is vital.
All right. Thanks to both of you. Appreciate it. Coming up, some of the well-known